What is up, you beautiful people? D-Man is back. Yes! Let's talk about some Godzilla. We haven't talked about him enough recently. So, welcome to a new series I'm going to be kicking off from now to forever called Godzilla Explained. I have quite a few requests already where people just want me to explain something or other about the Godzilla storyline, or about Godzilla himself, or just about Shin Gojira, or whatever. People just want explanations, so that's what the point of this series is. Godzilla Explained. You guys can leave your comments down below, whatever questions you guys have about the Godzilla storyline, or about Godzilla himself, or whatever. Leave them down below, and I will be sure to answer them in a video in the future. So this time, we're going to be doing a double up topic. This time we're going to be talking about Shin Gojira's atomic breath, as well as explaining his atomic breath. And it all starts from a few pictures that hit the internet quite a while ago, but it just heated up with two new videos that just dropped. So let's just watch the two videos that you guys have all been requesting me to talk about, and then we'll get into the explanation of Shin Gojira's atomic breath, shall we? Now, I think at this point, it can go without saying, spoilers are inbound. It's in the title, it's at the front of the video. You should know by this point, spoilers are inbound. So let's talk about Godzilla Explained. Let's explain what's going on here by starting with this first video. Shin Gojira opens his mouth. We saw this in the trailer. It was a great shot in the trailer. Now it cuts to black because what you guys don't see, we'll talk about in a minute here. Moving on, this is Godzilla using his purple atomic breath ray. Look at how fast he moves. His head just streaks across the sky. He's moving extremely fast, and it's awesome. Look how powerful this beam is. It just tears through buildings, rips through the entire city. That's awesome. It is just demolishing everything in its path, and that's super cool. No, some of you guys have been telling me the purple atomic breath was a reference to Prince's death. That has been confirmed to just be a rumor. Please don't believe it because it's not true. The reason for the purple atomic breath is still unknown, but me and most people speculate it's just because they wanted a new color. They went, okay, blue and red were the previous colors, let's just put the two together, and there you go, purple. Also, a lot of people have been saying his atomic breath comes out blue. No, it's purple, guys. It's been confirmed by people who have seen the movie to be purple, so I know the tail looks a little bit blue here, but it's not. So just notice how fast Godzilla is able to move his head, his whole body. Everyone's been saying this Godzilla is so slow. You can see here, because we'll explain what's going on here in a minute, he really needed to do what he's doing right now, otherwise he would have died. We'll talk about that in a second. So here's his second form, or rather his first form of his atomic breath being used in the city. We're going to explain this here in a second too. So, all this information comes from the video seen on screen here. Now, this video is a super in-depth review of Shin Gojira. If you guys want to know like all the nooks and crannies of this movie, go check that one out. I highly recommend it, and they used footage from one of my videos as their background editing, thing that they played through the whole time, so I have to recommend you watch it because I helped make it indirectly. So what's going on here is Shin Gojira is actually charging up. We all knew that in the trailer, but what happens next is not what you'd expect. He actually spews out a black mist that engulfs the entire city. Everything is covered in this black mist. It's powerful enough to throw cars in the air, to destroy everything. You see some of the mist here. And then what Godzilla reportedly does is he ignites it with a red beam of atomic breath. It sets the whole city aflame, you can see here, which is why fire is behind him as well as in front. Because this black mist that he spews out, he engulfs in flame. In 1 second, the city just is completely swallowed by fire. And this shot is very reminiscent of a shot from Godzilla 54, which is awesome. So it's super cool to see all this. I'm pretty excited to see this all play out on screen. So moving on, Godzilla is actually doing this because, well, he does this one because he can, honestly. But he continues his assault. He gets these big planes bomb him with these massive bombs that just completely hurt him. He is on the verge of death here, and he knows it. So what does he do? Well, he focuses the beam into a thin purple ray, and this purple ray is reportedly just like the Gauss ray, where, although unlike the Gauss ray, it's not a laser beam, it is the atomic breath that we all know and love, and it will explode whatever it hits on contact. It is just an insanely clean cut. Now, as you guys can see here he is just shredding a building. Pretty cool. It melts the building, which is awesome. Moving on. Now Godzilla, drained of energy and hurt, turns into a statue. I know that's kind of weird, but we'll explain it in a different Godzilla Explained video, explaining the way Shin Gojira's body works. So, a brief explanation here, it took a lot of energy away from him. He's basically like a video game character where you can only use your special powers every once in a while. Now, he turns into a statue, which I didn't have a picture of him in his statue form, because, you know, I can't get a picture from the movie. So, here's just the best that I can do. It's just a meme or whatever. Anyways, he does this after continuing his attack. He trudges forward into a newer area, and he's woken up by being bombed on the back again. Just massive bombs the next day. He's just hit in the back, and he focuses all the atomic energy into his back, and yes, we all guessed it, it is just like the nuclear pulse, but more focused, more deliberate, more intentional where it goes. He fires all these rays up into the sky, it melts the buildings here, it blows up all the planes that are flying over him, dropping these bombs, and he's dealt with that problem. Now, once again, I can't defend this next part, I just can't. I can't bring myself to it. But he focuses the atomic energy to come from the tip of his tail. And the tip of his tail shoots out a beam. He can control where it goes. Supposedly, there's been no evidence of this, but people have been theorizing that this is because there is a brain that sits in the bottom of his, abdomen right here, kind of connected to the tail, which can control the tail as well as help out with the legs, which makes a lot of sense for a bigger creature. As we can see here, he is actually standing in front of a train track. That comes in play in the actual plot of the movie. Not going to spoil how the movie ends, but the train track plays a big role in how Godzilla is defeated. Now, interesting thing to note here, if we scroll back, we can see the atomic breath in action. It comes from his mouth because it's an open area. He can get directly from the inside of his body coming out of his mouth, which, that's what we all know and love, is Godzilla's atomic breath from his mouth. Here, we know his back is all charred up, it's exposed flesh. Once again, he can propel these nuclear beams from his back because it's an open cut, basically. It's an open wound. Moving forward, the tip of his tail is an open wound, and once again, this atomic ray can come from it. What can we all gather from this? Well, we can gather that his atomic breath really, only comes from places that are exposed on his body. The tip of his tail, his back, his mouth. His mouth is exposed because, it's the direct lead-in to his body. His back is exposed because it's a big open wound. His tail is exposed because it's a big open wound. So what we can gather from this is that the open wounds are where the atomic breath comes from. Very reminiscent of GMK when he blows the atomic breath out of the side of his shoulder or whatever, because they drill a hole in it. So yeah, we all, or not all of us, but some of us guessed that was kind of what they were referencing here, and supposedly it turns out to be pretty true. So playing this whole clip back again, it is pretty cool. We know quite a bit about Godzilla's atomic breath, and it is awesome. I still, once again, cannot defend the tail. I think it's a huge misstep, and I think it's dumb. But I can't change it. They decided to diverge from what we're used to, and we can't blame them for that. If we get too upset, then again, it's like we got 62 years of Godzilla before this that doesn't have a tail beam, so whatever. It's not a big deal at all. There he is using that speed. That's just an awesome shot of him in the city there. I really do like this shot. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of 54, and it's pretty cool. Now, in conclusion here, the way Shin Gojira's atomic breath works is he has an indirect attack, which is this big gas plume that he sends out through the city and then ignites with a red ray. When he needs to get more direct, when he needs to actually attack something head on, he can focus this breath into a thin purple ray that he can control where it goes much better than that big gas plume explosion, and it does a lot more damage. He can shoot these atomic rays from his back through the open wound. He can also shoot them through the tail through the open wound. So in conclusion, this is pretty dang cool. It's cool to see Godzilla moving really fast. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Once again, I need to see that tail in action, because at this point I am 100% against the idea. But what can I do? Nothing. I can't do anything. Now I know I will get some accusations thrown at this video, people saying, specifically Bloodborne, saying that I am just doing this because he called me out on my quote-unquote G14 fanboyism, which all of you guys know is not true, and thank you guys all for the support. I really thought that was hilarious how everyone attacked this human being who decided to come rant on my previous videos. I definitely think it was deserved. All the hate that this person got, because as we all saw, they were just kind of a scummy human being, so it was nice to see them get what they had coming. Also, those rant videos did amazing, guys. I got a notification from YouTube saying that my first rant video, the 30-minute one, the one that I thought would fail, is actually doing better than like 72% of my other videos that I've posted, and that's only in the first day. It's not even posted 24 hours, and it's doing better than most of my other videos do in like a week. So thank you guys all for the support on that one. I had a lot of fun making it, and honestly, this person came back, which just shows that my point in the video of them being just really pathetic turned out to be true. So yes, part 2 is coming. Thank you guys all for watching. D-Man out.